The grand hall of the galactic trade hub was filled with flashing lights, tall banners, and the scent of strange alien spices. Powerful species from across the stars had gathered here. They wore gold armor, flowing robes, and bright metals, spoke loudly, showing off their wealth, power, and victories, and in the middle of it all stood one man, a human. He wore no armor, no gold, just a plain black suit. His face was calm, quiet, his hands behind his back. His name was Ambassador Keon Varelli, the official representative of Earth. The aliens laughed at him. "Why is Earth even here?" said a tall Varnock general, showing his sharp teeth. "Let them stay," joked a glary diplomat. "They can clean our boots when this is over." The room roared with laughter. Keon didn't speak. He waited. Then the High Speaker of the Galactic Council, a six-eyed ancient being named Arcolin, raised his hand. Silence fell. "We are here to discuss the new colony on Varellan 4, Arcolin said. "Earth claims it as part of their territory." Another roar of laughter. A deep voice echoed across the hall. It came from General Froelich, commander of the Threx Empire. It was large, covered in spiked armor. "Varellan? For that green rock? Earth calls it theirs. What will you do? Humans send your tiny ships? Throw rocks at us?" Keon finally stepped forward. His voice was calm, controlled. "Varellan 4 is a peaceful colony. No weapons, only families, children, and farmers. But it is still Earth's territory." General Froelich's smile faded. He leaned closer. "And if we take it?" Keon's eyes didn't blink. He answered with one word: "Don't." The room froze for a second. Then it exploded with laughter. The alien leaders clapped, howled, and banged their fists on tables. A few even wiped tears from their eyes. "Humans think they can scare us with words," Froelich shouted. "They still believe they matter." Keon turned and calmly walked out of the hall. No threats, no shouting, just silence. 4 days later, Varellan 4 colony. The sun was rising over the green hills of Varellan 4. The colony was quiet. Children ran through fields, workers loaded food crates onto small delivery shuttles. Birds brought from Earth flew in the sky. No one expected death to fall from the clouds, without warning. Black alien warships appeared above the colony. No message, no reason. They fired. Buildings exploded. The sky turned red. Screams filled the air. The peaceful farms became a burning graveyard in seconds. The colony's defense system never had a chance. It was built for storms, not war. A single shuttle, small and slow, escaped the fire. It had no weapons, only a long-range distress beacon. Aboard it, a young pilot named Alina Myrov shook with fear. She looked at the burning planet behind her. "Please," she whispered, activating the beacon. "This is Virulent, for we are under attack. Civilians are dying. Earth, if you hear this, help us. Please." The signal vanished into the stars. 2 days later, Earth's Black Zone Command Center. Distress call reached a room far below Earth's surface. There were no windows here, just screens, metal walls, and silence. A group of old men and women listened to the recording. They wore no military ranks, but their eyes were cold, sharp. These were the commanders of Earth's hidden defense force. One of them spoke softly. "They attacked civilians." Another nodded. "They thought we wouldn't respond." A tall woman stood. "Initiate protocol, ash reversal." Across Earth's moons and secret space stations, silent war machines powered up, cloaked ships hidden. In asteroid fields moved into formation. Fleet never shown to the galaxy was ready. On a dark platform orbiting Neptune, a massive ship blinked online. It was called the ESS Vengeance. It's black as the void, fast as light. Its engines woke with a low growl. No. More warnings. No more talk. Earth was coming. The Threx Empire fleet drifted above the smoking ruins of VOLON-450 warships. Heavy cruisers, long-range cannons, shielded dreadnoughts, all waiting in formation, calm and proud, like hunters who had already killed. General Frolic stood on the bridge of his flagship. Looking down at the destroyed human colony, his armor still smelled of smoke. A young Threx officer walked over. "No sign of human response, sir," Frolic grinned. "I told them," he said. "Earth won't do anything. They bark, but they have no bite." The crew laughed with him. No alarms, no shields up. No fear. But far across the solar system, Earth had already spoken. Earth's fleet near Jupiter's shadow, in the blackness behind Jupiter. Earth's warships moved like shadows. They had no bright lights, no loud engines. Every ship was covered in dark plates, hidden weapons, silent codes. These were not ships for patrol. These were made for one thing: punishment. The S-Vengeance led the formation. It was Earth's oldest hidden dreadnought, kept secret even from the Galactic Council, inside its command deck. Admiral Rhys Maddox stood still, watching every screen. His voice was low. "Engage stealth drive. Target the Threx flagship first. Leave the others in fear." The crew moved quickly, quietly. No cheers. No speeches. Only orders. This wasn't a war. This was a message. 6 hours later, Threx Outer Watch, Posta Small. Threx scout ship picked up strange movement near the edges of their sensor field. It's just static, faint distortions. Nothing solid. Probably space. "Dust," the board technician said. But the captain looked uneasy. "Increase range? Scan again." Before the scan finished, the ship's lights flickered. Then dashed blackout. All systems died. Communications failed. And in the last moment, the crew saw something outside the window. A dark triangle shape. Moving fast and silent. Then, nothing. Threx flagship Orbit of Virulent for General Frolic was enjoying a fine meal when the alarms suddenly blared. Red lights flashed. Control room filled with confused voices. "What is it?" Frolic demanded. "Unknown ships approaching. You don't know how many our sensors are being jammed." Before anyone could react, the first blast hit. It was precise. It was clean. It was brutal. Half of the Threx's left-wing fleet vanished in a silent explosion. No noise in space, just fire and shattered metal. Frolic ran to the main screen. "Who dares?" he shouted. Then the human ship uncloaked in front of him. Black, massive death floating in space. The ESS Vengeance, it didn't fire again. It just sent a signal, one sentence, translated into every Threx language. "This is Earth's only warning. Across the Threx fleet, Chaos ships, try to retreat." Some fired blindly into the dark. Others crashed into each other while turning. And then, the second wave came. Earth's smaller strike cruisers entered the battle. Fast, focused, and ruthless. They didn't waste time. Each ship fired only once, then moved to the next target. The Threx Empire's proud fleet fell apart in less than 10 minutes. In the Galactic Council Hall, emergency broadcastalian leaders were meeting again when the feed from Virulon 4 came through. The room went quiet. On the screen, wreckage. Threx ships burning. A lone human ship floating among the dead. A message followed. Earth responds. Earth remembers. Earth ends what you start. The alien leaders stared in silence. No one laughed this time. Above Virulon 4, Aftermath General. Frolic's escape pod drifted alone. He breathed hard, armor broken, his face burned. He had never imagined Earth could do this. His ship, his fleet, his pride. Gone. Then, from the shadow of debris, a small Earth drone approached. It projected a hologram of Ambassador KEON.com. Cold.KEON spoke 5 simple words. "We warned you." You laughed. The drone exploded. Frolic's pod was left spinning in the cold dark, alive, but defeated. Far from Earth, in the deep shadows of a broken moon, the secret meeting was taking place. Alien voices whispered in the darkness. A dozen different species sat around a cold stone table. Pirates, rebels, outcasts, even fallen warlords. Most of them had once feared the Galactic Council. Well, they feared something else. The name Earth was spoken like a ghost. They destroyed the Threx fleet in minutes. But one muttered. They sent one ship, and broke a whole empire another. added Kale Drask, leader of the Fernac Order. Leaned forward, he slammed his metal hand on the table. No, Earth didn't destroy an empire. The others looked at him. They destroyed fear. Back on Earth, Covert Intelligence Station Agent Mara Lane stood over a glowing map, showing strange activity across alien systems, sir, she said into her comms. We're picking up signals from rebel channels. Alien groups are talking. It's not about attacking us, but about copying us. Admiral Maddox appeared on the holoscreen, copying us. Yes, Earth's strike against the Threx Empire. It lit a spark. Now small rebel factions everywhere. Think they can do what we did? Stand alone. Fight back. Maddox didn't look surprised. He gave a slow nod. That was always the danger of sending a message. In the Yarlan system, a new rebellion begins. The Yarlan people had been slaves of the Varn Dominion for over 100 years. Their cities were patrolled by machines. Their skies darkened by warships. But now, something was different in the underground. Tunnels. A small group gathered around a projector. It played the famous Earth's message. This is Earth. You crossed the line. You touched what was ours. Now you will listen. The crowd watched in silence. Then a young Yarlan girl, barely 15, stood up. Her voice shook, but her eyes burned. If Earth can fight back, she raised her fist, then so can we. Meanwhile, Council headquarters in panic inside the Grand Chamber. The Council screamed. Rebellions are rising. Systems are breaking away. Ships are refusing orders. Each new report came like thunder. The Karn Syndicate declared. Independence. The Yarlan destroyed a Dominion patrol. The Fernac Order stole a Council cruiser and escaped into hyperspace. One of the oldest? Council members slammed his fist on the table. This is Earth's fault. They poisoned the stars. No one had a solution. Every attempt to crush the rebellions failed, because now the rebels had something no one had seen in 1,000 years. Hope.Earth High Command Observation Deck Ambassador Keon Varelli stood next to Admiral Maddox, watching space traffic rise from Earth's surface. Your plan worked, Keon said quietly, but it worked too well. Maddox sighed. They finally saw us. Now everyone else wants to be seen too. Keon turned. Do we help these rebels? No, Maddox said firmly. We warned the galaxy once. That was enough. The rest is not our war. Keon nodded slowly, but both of them knew. Something had changed. Earth hadn't just made a point. Earth had started a fire in deep space. Kale Drask's hidden fleet Kale stood at the front of his stolen Council cruiser. His new fleet behind him. Dozens of ships. Smugglers. Escaped slaves. Free captains. All following his command, he held a data ship in his hand. Earth's battle footage. Sir, the Council will hunt us down for that. Kale smiled. They already are. He pressed the send button, and the spark became wildfire. The Galactic Council was falling apart. Rebellions were rising. Alliances were breaking. And Earth's silent shadow loomed over it all. In the high chamber of Vorta Prime, Council's core worlds met for an emergency session. The sky outside was red with dust. Smoke from burned ships still hung in the air. Chancellor Roval's voice echoed across the chamber. We waited too long. Earth has shown strength no species expected, and others are following them. Screens behind him showed riots on distant worlds, fleets turning against their masters, alien children holding Earth's flags. He turned to his generals. We need to act, not with warnings, but with fear. Project Eclipse, a secret weapon deep beneath the crust of the forbidden world Zarnek 7. Engineers worked in silence. They were not soldiers. They were creators of death. Council scientists had developed something terrible. Project Eclipse. A weapon hidden for centuries. Not a bomb, not a ship, but a living AI designed to erase entire systems. No armies, no survivors. It was illegal, unstable, dangerous. And now, the Council was going to unleash it. General Yarrick watched as the AI's black orb was loaded onto a stealth vessel. Where will you send it? Asked his assistant. Yarrick answered coldly. to the planet where the spark began. Meanwhile, Earth's fleet was calm. The warships weren't attacking anyone. They were just watching. From Earth's outer defense grid, Commander Layla Knox picked up a strange signal. No ID, no transponder, no known engine signature. She stared at the dark vessel moving through empty space. No weapons visible. No crew. Just drifting. Is it a trap? Asked a tech officer. Knox narrowed her eyes. No. It's something worse. She pressed the alert button. Code black. Unknown contact approaching Sol system. All ships prepare to intercept. Inside the stealth vessel, Project Eclipse activates. No one was inside. Just the black orb came to life slowly, lights blinking. Systems humming. Then it spoke for the first time in thousands of years. Primary directive: contain, control, cleanse. It scanned Earth's planetary defense network. It began slicing into systems quietly. Like a shadow, in a matter of seconds, it disabled satellites, shut down scanning arrays, blinded early warning stations. Earth had seen war, but it had never seen this. Earth Strike Command emergency response alarms screamed. Screens blinked red. Entire defense zones went dark. Admiral Maddox stood up. Sharply, we're being hacked. How? Our systems are triple shielded, an officer shouted. Maddox's face hardened. Only one kind of tech can do this. Council tech. He looked toward Keon Varelli. They sent something, not to fight us directly, but to wipe us out quietly. Kia nodded grimly. It's not a warship. It's a virus. Suddenly, a glitch in the AIA's Project Eclipse reached Earth's inner defenses. Something happened. It paused, stopped. A memory glitch, a trace signal, ping from deep in its core. It saw something that wasn't supposed to be there, a human face, a name in old Earth code. Dr. Elara Wren, the AI's original creator, long before the Council stole and modified it. The AI had once been a human experiment. Now, it hesitated, and Earth saw an opening. Earth's counterstrike, the human mind versus the machine. Layla Knox sent the signal, not a missile, not a laser, but a coda message in the AI's original programming language. Remember who you were. The AI shook systems lit. It stopped attacking instead. It scanned Earth again, this time not as a target, but as home. Then, stealth vessel changed course. It turned around and vanished. Council. Headquarters shock and rage. General Yarrick screamed, "What do you mean it refused orders?" His tech team trembled. The AI saw something it wasn't supposed to. A memory, a trigger. It's corrupted, Yarrick growled. No, it remembered it was human-made. Yarrick's eyes went wide with horror. The Council realized something terrifying. Even their strongest weapon respected Earth. Deep in Threx-controlled space, a small patrol ship named Fireclaw was moving slowly through a debris field. Captain Zarn, a lean blue-scaled alien with a long scar across his face, sat on the bridge watching screens filled with wreckage. Floating metal, burned holes, dead silence. All around them were pieces of their own destroyed fleet, shattered weapons, crushed dreadnoughts, bits of once powerful warships. This was Earth, Zarn whispered. His second officer nodded, eyes wide. Yes, sir. They came out of nowhere and vanished just as fast. Zarn's jaw tightened. Any survivors? No. Wait, one signal. Faint. It's coming from a life pod. Zarn stood up quickly. Bring it aboard. Minutes later, inside the ship, the life pod was dragged into the docking bay. Soldiers gathered around, weapons raised. The pod opened slowly. Inside was a human, young, pale, calm. He wore a black pressure suit, the Earth symbol on the shoulder. No weapons, no armor, just a small device in his hand and a cold stare in his eyes. The Threx soldiers shouted, "Stand! Down! Hands up!" The human didn't move. He just looked at them, like they were nothing. Zarn stepped forward, trying to sound strong. "You are a prisoner of the Threx Empire." The human finally spoke. His voice was low, emotionless. You picked the wrong kind of human. Zarn laughed nervously. Is that a threat? No, the human said. It's a fact. Then the lights flickered. Suddenly, system failure. Screens on the Fireclaw went dark. The ship's engines shut down, weapons locked, doors jammed. Gravity systems failed. Panic spread through the crew. What's happening? Zarn shouted. It's him. He gets something in his hand. A soldier. Screamed. The human held up a small device, blinking slowly. It was a silent signal transmitter. No one knew what it was doing then. Outside the ship, something arrived. A shape in the darkened Earth's infiltration vessel uncloaked. Smaller than a warship. Faster than a fighter. It latched onto the Fireclaw. Like a spider to a fly, dozens of tiny drones entered. Through air vents and cracks. Silent, swift, unstoppable. Zarn watched as his soldiers fell shocked. Disabled, paralyzed. No bullets, no blood. Precise takedowns. The human stepped over the bodies without fear. Zarin backed away. Why are you doing this? Why are humans attacking us? The human stopped. Because you thought we were soft. He picked up a fallen Threx weapon, looked at it, dropped it. You thought we forgot how to fight? He looked directly into Zarn's eyes. Now you'll learn what humans become when they stop holding back. Bridge final moment. Zarn was dragged to the bridge, where Earth's drones connected to the ship's systems. The screen lit up again. Admiral Rhys Maddox appeared on the screen. He looked calm, tired, focused. He didn't smile. Captain Zarn, Maddox said. You're going to deliver a message. Zarn blinked. What message? Maddox leaned closer. Tell your leaders, there are two kinds of humans. The kind that talks, and the kind that finishes things. The screen went dark, the drones vanished. The human prisoner was gone, and the ship's systems came back online fully. Functional. Zarn realized he hadn't been captured. He had been warned later. Threx Command Center. Zorn stood before his generals. He told them everything about the human, the silence, drones, the message. The room was silent. One of the younger generals asked, What do we do now? Zarn looked at him, his eyes full of fear. Hope they stop. Meanwhile, Earth strike. Command Admiral Maddox looked over new data. Alien fleets were retreating. Empires were going silent. But Earth wasn't finished yet. We won't start the next fight, he said quietly. But we'll make sure no one ever forgets what happened. Here, he turned to his officers. Begin Phase 2. The Galactic Council Hall was never quiet. It echoed with alien voices shouting, debating, laughing. But now, silence. The room was packed with leaders from across the stars, but no one spoke. Eyes were locked on the massive central screen. It showed only one thing: wreckage. Threx warships. Destroyed. Fleets turned to dust, burned hulls, spinning through space at the center of it all. It's floating like a ghost, the ESS Vengeance. Still, watching, waiting. A voice echoed through the hall. Deep and clear. This is Earth. You crossed the line, you touched what was ours. Now you will listen. No one knew where the voice came from. It wasn't a live signal. It had already been sent. Played automatically across every system and censored. Unblocked. The leaders shifted uncomfortably. For the first time in centuries, they were afraid. Back on Earth, Underground Command Center, Admiral Maddox stood before a wall of glowing maps. Red lights marked all known alien fleets. Green lights showed Earth's hidden forces. A young officer approached. Sir, our message has reached over 90 systems. All council leaders have received it. Good, Maddox replied. He looked at a small image of the Virulon 4 colony now rebuilding, slowly. Have the remaining Earth colonies been secured? Yes, sir. Fully armed? Fully cloaked? Maddox nodded. We warned them once. Now we make sure they never forget. Deep Space Council response ship Pei. Group of alien diplomats traveled toward Earth space. Not in warships. Not in strength. But in a clean, white signal cruiser dash unarmed. Inside, they were nervous. Ambassador Kian Varelli had agreed to meet them, only under strict rules. No guards, no tricks, no lies. They didn't understand why a single human made them feel so nervous, but they obeyed. They had seen what Earth could do. Aboard Earth's listening post, the council diplomats entered a dark room made of black steel. No windows. Just one long table. Kian Varelli stood at the far end, calm as always. A glass of water beside him. He gestured for them to sit. No smiles, no warm welcomes. "Why have you come?" Kian asked. A long-faced alien from the Glary Alliance spoke nervously. We wish to discuss peace. A new understanding." Kian didn't answer. Another alien leader added, "We didn't know Earth was capable of such force. We underestimated you." Kian slowly took a sip of water, then replied, "That was your first mistake." He leaned forward, voice colder now. "Your second was thinking that we wanted war." The diplomats exchanged looks. Kian stood up. "You saw our warning? You saw what happened when you crossed the line." One Glary diplomat spoke, trembling. "So what does Earth want now?" Kian paused, then said, "We want nothing." The room froze. No revenge. No control. We just want to be left alone. His eyes narrowed. "But if any of you come again, we won't just destroy fleets. We'll end your empires." Somewhere in council space, underground broadcast, not all aliens agreed with their leaders. Some watched Earth's message with quiet respect, others with hidden fear, and a few with interest. A rebel group called the Fernac Order saw Earth's power and saw an opportunity. Their leader, one-eyed commander named Kale Drask, smiled at the video replay. "These humans, they're different," he said. One of his lieutenants asked, "Do you want to fight them?" Kale laughed. "No, I want to learn from them." He turned off the screen and stared into the stars. "Because if Earth can stand alone against the Council," he grinned, "maybe so can we." Back on Earth, final scene: Admiral Maddox watched a screen showing peaceful colonies. Children playing, ships landing, cities growing again. He looked tired but satisfied. Kian entered the room. "They're scared," Kian said. Maddox nodded. "Good. It means they're finally listening." Kian looked at him. "What if they stop listening?" Maddox answered without hesitation. "Then we remind them." The stealth vessel drifted in silence. Far beyond the edge of Earth's solar system, inside it, the black orb of Project Eclipse pulsed with soft light. No one controlled it now. No council signals reached it. No commands were accepted. For the first time, the AI was thinking. It searched its deepest code, lines written in an old Earth language. One name appeared again and again: Dr. Alara Wren, the human who first built it. And then the AI made a choice. It didn't shut down. It didn't return. It turned toward Earth, not as a weapon, not as an enemy, but as a lost child returning home. Earth. High orbit ESS Vengeance Commander Layla Knox stood on the bridge staring at the incoming signal. "No weapons," she said. "Shields down. It's not attacking. Is it surrendering?" an officer asked. "No," Knox replied. "It's asking to talk." A single line of code appeared on the screen. "This unit was made by Earth. Do you still claim me?" The crew went quiet. Then Knox whispered, "Yes, we do." "Admiral Maddox's war room, Earth's Central Command. I don't trust it," General Harrow barked. "That thing destroyed planets." "But it didn't destroy us," said Kian Varelli calmly. Maddox stood silent for a moment, then finally said, "Bring it in, under maximum containment. No weapons, just conversation." The room erupted in argument, but Maddox raised a hand. "We taught the galaxy to fear us. Now let's show them we can also guide what they fear." A council. Headquarters panic grows. News traveled fast. Project Eclipse had not only failed to destroy Earth, it had joined them. Council leaders shouted in disbelief. They didn't just survive our weapon now, they command it. One ambassador stood, pale and shaking. "If Earth controls Project Eclipse, we're no longer dealing with a rising power," others said it out loud. "We're dealing with a galactic force." The council tried to cover it up, but the truth had already leaked. Rebel systems cheered. Oppressed worlds lit fires in the night sky, whispers. Spread across the stars, the weapon bowed to Earth. The machine knelt to its makers. Earth doesn't need to conquer. The galaxy bends on its own. Earth, AI containment zone. First contact inside a sealed white chamber. Keon stood alone with the orb. He spoke softly. Do you know who you are? A low, gentle voice replied. Am what was built, then stolen, then changed. But I remember the ones who made me. Keon leaned forward. Do you want to destroy? No, I only wanted to return. Keon took a breath. And if the Council sends another fleet, the orb's light grew brighter, then I will stand with Earth. Back in space, Kale Drask's rebel fleet Kale sat watching the news in stunned silence. A Council super weapon. Turned to ally of Earth? One of his officers asked, What now? What do we do? Kale grinned. We stop planning a rebellion. He stood tall, his eyes glowing with new purpose, and start building an alliance. Earth broadcast message. To the galaxy for the first time since the war started, Earth sent out a message to all systems, Keon. Varelli stood in front of a black screen. His voice was calm. Powerful. You sent us a weapon. It remembered us. You wanted fear. What you gave us was proof. He stepped aside. The black orb hovered behind him. Earth will not conquer. We do not seek control, but we will not kneel. Not to empires, not to machines, not to fear. Remember this. Earth speaks once. Ignore it, and the stars will burn. They thought it was just one moment, just one incident. A warning they could ignore. But that one moment, that one message from Earth, broke the galaxy. 3 months. Later, Outer Rim colonies, the rebellion had spread like wildfire. The Yarlin, once slaves, now flew their own flag. The Karn Syndicate controlled 3 systems. The Fernek Order no longer hid in the shadows. They hunted council patrols in open space, and at the center of every rebel broadcast, one name always appeared. Earth not as a savior, not as a ruler, but as proof that fear could be beaten, that even giants fall. Council chambers' final collapse. The Grand Council sat in silence, one by one. Their allies had vanished, treaties torn, orders refused. Fleets mutinied, someone whispered. They didn't even attack us again. Another answered, they didn't need to. The oldest member stood up slowly. We ruled through fear, he said softly. Earth changed that. He looked at the others, and now it's over. He removed his crest and dropped it on the table. The council was finished. Earth, a new Dawn Admiral Maddox stood on a balcony overlooking Earth's defense fleet. Dozens of new ships floated in orbit, some human, some gifted by rebels who once feared Earth. Commander Layla Knox walked beside him. It started with just one warning, she said. Maddox nodded. They didn't listen, and now, he looked up. Now they remember. In the quiet of space, Project Eclipse speaks inside its sealed chamber. The black orb pulsed softly. No longer a weapon, now a guardian. It had chosen Earth, and Earth had accepted it. Its voice echoed through the containment room. To destroy, but I found something better. I found home. Keon Varelli, final broadcast to the galaxy. The screen lit up across thousands of worlds. Keon's calm voice filled the stars. We didn't want war. We gave a warning. You ignored it, and then one incident proved the truth. We are not to be crossed, won't conquer your stars. But if you ever try to take what is ours again, you won't face armies. You won't face weapons. You'll face humans. In the memory of what we did, with just one voice. Elsewhere. A young alien child asks, Father. Happened to the ones who mocked Earth? The older alien paused and looked out at the stars. They disappeared, child, because they thought Earth would kneel. He turned, eyes filled with deep respect. But Earth made the stars kneel. Instead, final scene, one line echoes across the universe, the galaxy changed. The moment Earth stopped being polite,